Welcome in. In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go through my baseball reference and I'm going to tell you guys and share with you guys some fun stories at just about every single level of my baseball journey. So first and foremost, is this even accurate? Yes and no. So yes, third base, shortstop, second base, those were probably my primary positions in all of minor league baseball. Bat right, throw right, absolutely. I was more, I was closer to 6'2". I didn't even know that they did that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, birth date's accurate. My age is accurate. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I grew up mostly in Sarasota, Florida, but I got drafted by the Cardinals in the 11th round out of NC State. Went to Sarasota High School, NC State. My middle name is Manuel. But getting into the fun stuff, like, yes, we could go about the stats. Real quick, though, I'm going to tell you guys some fun stories on all the teams that I've played for in my high school, college, professional journey. So I guess when I was youngest, right, this is when Baseball Reference, they really start to track you, is when you're in college and you're affiliated with an official league, right? So first and foremost, NC State. The first story that really comes to mind is making a SportsCenter top play, number one on SportsCenter, right after I hit a home run to dead center, which honestly was probably one of the most memorable stories of my entire college career. That was also on a Friday night, so we definitely had a packed out stadium at NC State in front of my home crowd. Yeah, basically hit a home run to dead center. It was a 3-run home run, and then right after that, decided. But there was a foul ball, and basically it went to the foul territory. And I was playing third base, and yeah, I made a SportsCenter top play of me falling the rails. But yeah, that was probably my most memorable one. The not so fun one was at NC State. We hosted a regional my sophomore year when I really kind of just took off out of the scene. And unfortunately, we had the lead in a game that would have taken us to a super regional in the postseason. And unfortunately, it started absolutely pouring down rain against Coastal Carolina. This was also the year that Coastal Carolina went ahead and won the College World Series. But basically, they postponed the game until the next day with the bases loaded with like one out in the top of the ninth inning, I believe. And they came back and won it. And it was just a very depressing day, honestly. But right after that, so that was actually, that was in 2015. So 2015 NC State was me pitching. So a fun story about that was basically opening weekend, pitched against Davidson, 5 innings of 1 earned run, and I got the win, my first ever collegiate win. That was on Valentine's Day. My parents were able to come out and watch me play. But yeah, freshman year was not so fun because there was a lot of change, and that's when I ultimately decided to play a position. But Baltimore Dodgers was when I kind of knew that this wasn't the best league I could necessarily play for, but it was going to give me opportunities to develop my skills and take reps in the infield, considering I was in that transition period between pitching and the infield. So I got to play short just about every single game. I pitched a couple of times for the Baltimore Dodgers, and also the cool thing, I got to live with my grandma over that summer, and it was just really cool. That's where I also remember just falling in love with the game, because I was sitting in DC traffic every single day. It felt like we didn't have a team bus or any type of team transportation, so you had to drive yourself a couple of hours to play in games just about 5 days a week. So NC State kind of already went over it. After that breakout season my sophomore year playing third base, I was second team All-ACC. I got invited to play in the Cape Cod League, which was honestly so much fun. That was when it was summer of 2016. And we made it to the Final Four. It was also just an overall great experience of just eating really good food. Lobster is big over there. And then having a scout day in Fenway were just some memorable moments. Bridge jumping into some very, very cold northeastern water in the middle of summer. It was just an overall really fun summer. And also got exposed to really good pitching, using a wood bat, seeing guys throwing 90, 95 miles an hour. It was not always fun, but it was a good entryway into professional baseball, which I went back for my junior season, took care of business, got drafted, and the first ever team in professional baseball was the State College Spikes, and that was in the New York Penn League. That's where most memorable moment, honestly, was probably winning back-to-back Player of the Weeks for the entire league, New York Penn League. So I think I hit like 500 one week. I was player of the week, and then I won it back-to-back weeks, and that was the first time that has ever happened in State College Spike's history. So that was a pretty memorable moment. I got promoted after like 40-ish games of that shortened season up to the Midwest League, which at the time was low A, to the Peoria Chiefs. They used to be an affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. Now they're I believe high A to the St. Louis Cardinals. But yeah, in Peoria, only played about like 18 games there. Memorable moment was just honestly like getting the feel of this is actually minor league baseball, travel, all that fun stuff, getting my first ever promotion, having a really cool clubhouse, cool fan base, and I remember just hitting one of my first home runs, and Donnie Ecker was our hitting coach there, and I just remember sharing a lot of excitement with him. 2018, this was my first time actually, after spring training, I got assigned to High A, which at the time was Palm Beach Cardinals, which is kind of where I live right now. I'm in West Palm Beach. Palm Beach Cardinals is a little bit north, up in Palm Beach Gardens, about 15, 20 minutes. But I remember I got off to a very hot start, hit around like 340 in roughly 30, 40 games. And within that second month, I got promoted to Double A. The cool story about Palm Beach Cardinals, I remember going to play against the Bradenton, I don't even know what they're called, but the Pirates organization, and they're in Bradenton, so they're about like maybe 15, 20 minutes north of where I went to high school. So both my mom and dad were able to make it, and also that stadium is a shoebox. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark, so that is where I was able to hit 2 home runs in one game with my parents watching. It was just a surreal moment, and I remember just had a really good week against that team. And then we went up north to play against Clearwater, which was the Phillies affiliate. And I remember having like a really good series against them where I think I hit like 400 or 500 in that series. A couple of lucky hits. I remember I had a broken base hit off the cap of the bat. I don't know how it fell in the outfield, but that was just a really cool memory of getting promoted up to Double A, which is when everything started to feel a lot more real in my overall journey. I remember, this was also a fun story. So this was in the height of Fortnite, and I remember traveling with my PlayStation and a small little monitor, and I would play Fortnite on my hotspot on these long bus rides. And on that ride, I remember I was like Final 3, and basically everyone was tapping me on my shoulder, said, "Hey, Skip wants to talk to you, go to the top of the bus." And me being dumb, I was just like, "Hey, I'm almost finished, like, it can wait. Basically, after I go up to the front, and they told me the news that I was getting promoted up to Double A, which is an awesome experience. So got to tell my parents and everything like that. Finished out the season in Double A, and this is when I was really exposed to just high level baseball. I will not forget the jump between High A and Double A. It felt like Little League to high school baseball, like that, right? It was a very quick jump as far as competition level and the ability to field. These were the things that I guess I took for granted, and all the way up to High A. But in Double A on, it was just like everyone was an all-star. Everyone was a really solid, quality baseball player. And that's where, to be honest with you, I had some struggles, but that was also my career best year is 2018, when I think I hit like 8 total home runs that year. Starting off the year in 2019, I remember this was the first time that I actually was invited to like big league spring training. I was backing up Paul Goldschmidt just about every single day. I started off the year in Memphis for like 3 or 4 games, and I wasn't getting enough playing time, so they demoted me back to Double A just to get more reps. And I remember once there was an injury at the Triple A level, I jumped back to Triple A, and basically like my 3rd game back, I broke my wrist. Broke my wrist again 3 months later, went through a bunch of rehab, and that was definitely not fun. 2019, I went through rehab, and then basically in 2020, after all that rehab, I played some winter ball with Colombia in Barranquilla for the Caimanes, and basically also went and played in the Caribbean Series in Mazatlan, Mexico, representing Colombia, which was a really cool experience. And the memorable moment there was making that top 10 play of when it was juggling in my hands out in center field, which was really cool. But 2021 started off the year in Memphis. 2022, Memphis again. This is where I was bouncing around really first base, shortstop, second base, third base, all over the place. Got to play some more winter ball with the Caimanes again in 2022. I was assigned right after spring training with the Padres after hitting like 400 in spring training with the Padres. I got sent to Double A. It was a pretty stacked organization that year in 2023. Got hurt on my ninth game though, so I tore my adductor trying to steal third base. Mid stride, I got the base. It was my second stolen base of the day. I was 2 for 2 for the day. It was in Corpus Christi playing against the Houston Astros Double A affiliate, but was able to make a rehab. Played with the ACL Padres, which is basically the Arizona Complex League, just for some rehab games. I think it was like 2 or 3 rehab games, and they said, "Hey, get ready. You're going up to AAA." And I finished out my professional year, my professional career in El Paso. Got back to 100%, even though I know for a fact I was not 100% for those last 15 or 20 games of the season. So 2013 was a really stressful year because I only played like 25, 30 games. But the coolest memory that I have is the last professional game that I played with the El Paso Chihuahuas, the AAA affiliate of the San Diego Padres. I hit a home run. The coolest story about that is we didn't take batting practice because it was the last game of the season. Everyone's usually very tired of the season, and that game we showed and goed. So that means basically no BP, no cage work, nothing. So my first swing was technically in on deck, and then my first actual swing hitting a baseball was swinging at the first pitch that I saw, ambushing it, and hitting it for a home run in my last professional game. So I thought that was pretty cool. But these were just some obviously fun stories about my baseball journey for the 7-year professional career that I've had, and then also the 3 years at NC State, transitioning from a pitcher to a third baseman, hitting 362 in the ACC, playing in the Summer 16, best summer of my life in Cape Cod, just having a lot of fun there. Feeling like I was invincible in the New York Penn League, obviously facing some injuries in 2019. Got to be able to play in my dad's hometown and bringing my dad over to Columbia. He hasn't been back to Columbia since the day that he came over to the United States when he was like 20. So it's been like 30 years since he's been to Columbia. And because I was playing in his hometown, the team actually invited him to come out. So really cool things that I've been able to do throughout my professional career. And obviously this is just a small glimpse of the many stories that I've had throughout my 7-year professional career.